I'm sorry, I was just setting up and staring intently at that ominous doorway in the dark corner. I didn't expect this to throw sudden ambiance at me. I'm sorry, especially after that, I just cannot stop staring into that corner. Feels like something's watching me right from the beginning. But if it doesn't have any more scares for us, hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Gary's Mod. And today, the map we're going to be exploring is the long-requested Cyan Dreampools. And I'll be honest, I am in the mood for a liminal space type map. I am so drowsy right now. I've been up all day recording and editing. And I think that's usually the best time to explore these things because the whole point of liminal space maps is that they're so dreamlike in their presentation. They feel like someplace you've seen in some distant memory that may not have ever happened. Which is why it's so fascinating that so many of them involve water, you know? I mean, why do so many dreams take place basically ankle deep or even waist deep in water? Maybe it's something to do with... Well, I'll speculate on that a little more in a bit, but aside from this skylight, this already seems to be a little different from other pool room style maps. I mean, normally it's the sense of vastness that gets you, of being a small thing in a space that was never meant for you. But right away, we've got these small doorways and low ceilings, and very dim hallways. Well, if we do have to pick a direction to travel in, I might as well go with the one that's been beckoning me. Instantly makes me feel like I need to press my back against the wall, wow. And it's so infrequent, too. That's what makes it catch me off guard. Yeah, see, look at this. Even in a much larger room, it still feels so much smaller. It almost feels like a mini golf course. Ooh, and that's interesting. Even though the sky is blindingly bright like it is on other maps, it actually has like a cloudy sky texture. That's weird. At first, it almost gives the impression that you could escape if you had some way to climb up there. But not really. It's almost got like an uncanny valley sky effect, like in those old 90s games on PC. Like, it's so obviously just not fooling anyone as to whether or not it's a real sky. The arched ceiling here, it feels kind of like entering a crypt. It feels so much more like entering a crypt. Look at that. It's like the water acts as a protective barrier to keep me out or to keep something else sealed in. That's actually kind of giving me vertigo right now. But once more, I can't help but feel like I'm being watched, like that over there is the real eye of the room. So let's go see what that's about. It is so strange to have to, like, step through water to come back up again. And I think that's a big part of why the dream pools are so dreamlike. I feel like so many dreams feature some element of being, like, again, knee or ankle or waist deep in water. And I think maybe it has something to do with not being able to run in dreams. About making you feel so much more vulnerable. Ooh. I swear if it were just textured differently, you could say this was the inside of a house or something. Oh, now out there we do have the pure white, but look, this is cool. Every texture, with the exception of, like, the weirdly present plants and some railings, is this tile, even if it looks like something else would map onto these walls. This really is a slightly different take. Stairs are clipped, that's very nice. And this doesn't appear to be a secret passage, despite having the indentation of a door. I guess from a certain point of view, you could believe that it was a door at some point, maybe implying that this place is in a constant state of flux. Well, away we go. Now, this right here is a fear for Sims, a water feature that doesn't have any obvious way in or out. We can walk over it, but even while we're fortunate enough to be up here, we think about what it would be like to be down there. Just kind of looking, reaching up, not being able to get a grip. I mean, at this height, we probably could. Oh my, it's short but wide. Makes it feel like I'm caving or something, crawling through. And dark. It's just shadows, I know it. I know it's just shadows as I lifted my light, but I swear I saw something, like, move back and recede from peeking around the corner. Yeah, this one has me much more on edge than I expected. Look at that. A pool, but as a linear path. Oops. Hang on, what is that over there? Something pointing to a corner. It looks like there's an arched wall and a blue smear with an X on it. Does that mean that there's some kind of secret around here? I don't like whipping around and seeing all these pillars and blind corners. Alright, crouch down right here. Oh, no, I didn't want to bounce up. No, it's literally just hopping for me like I'm a frog. I was just going to say that I feel so much more on edge on this map than other Dreampools maps. And it's because it's using the smaller architecture. I mean, I just don't have, I guess, that fear of, like, huge open spaces. I mean, I do, but not to the same extent as this. At the idea of something being just ahead of me. There's so much more darkness where others rely on, well, that. This actually contrasts darkness with brightness. Actually, those shadows almost look like three figures sat on a bench opposite this wall, huh? Alright, let's keep moving. Look at that. I bet that's the staircase that leads back up to the crypt, right? You just don't expect to see color like that. There's so much. This is very different. The only place we've seen with a different style of tile. It's almost like this is where two different types of liminal space merge, but not entirely different, because look, it's got those, like, brightly colored slides like you would see in, like, kids' places in the 90s. And something I've talked about before is how so much of liminal space imagery seems to be based on, like, 90s children's nostalgia. But when it comes to the pool rooms, I think it's something a bit more universal. Why do so many people seem to have dreams about large, complex pool structures? Things that don't make any sense architecturally, and yet somehow, at least for me, those dreams always came off as dizzying, but also awesome. Like, I would wake up and think, oh, too bad that wasn't real. I mean, I was a fish. I loved swimming. But there's just something about getting lost in a maze of pools that seems so appealing. Ooh. Like I said, dizzying. But I think a big part of liminal spaces and their popularity in the internet age is simply people realizing that these experiences that are so specific that they never bothered sharing because they felt they only apply to them are actually far more universal than anyone thought. As for speculating as to why, well, you could have a YouTube channel about that. I'm leaving a lot of things behind, but I don't have much choice. I mean, even if it's just knee-deep water, I do think that's a big part of it, that if something were to enter and start chasing me while I was crossing through this, I wouldn't be able to do much about it. I would be running at a snail's pace. And the scale of it enters there because you see just how far you need to go. Nowhere to hide and a long, long way to run. This is so cool. It's a nice mix of large and small rooms. It's a real whiplash. I feel like an accordion being constantly pushed together and pulled apart. But another interesting feature is that not every space is accessible from every entrance, which is a weird thing to say, but I've walked through places that I couldn't actually enter and leave a different way. Sometimes you're just passing through on this map. Oh no, this is the tomb. Meaning I have no idea what that barred off one was. Okay, but that also means we can head back the way we came. Oh. It's never until I'm in here that I realize just how dark these spaces really are. Yep. If we take a flying leap, we can avoid as much of this water as possible. We look at these images and we can just feel the hot air and the humidity and smell that chlorine. Chutes and ladders. Now remember, we need to keep an eye out for some curved arched ceilings. Wait. You hear that? Yeah, there's a buzz from the light and something coming from that drain. It's stained as if water flowed through here at some point, which I guess could serve as more evidence that we're not safe here because these chambers may flood. It's also weird because for as ethereal and as impossible as these places seem, having something as imperfect as... Oh my god! Having something as imperfect as, like, mold and rust stains makes it seem like there is a more practical explanation, but there couldn't be. Is that just a statue? I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the awe-inspiring image here. Wow. Okay, I'm back to the kid part of my brain that thinks this is awesome. Okay, yeah, I think you're just the horse statue. Good God, I look over and I see that black misshapen mass in the corner. I'm like, did they actually put an NPC on this map? I can still hear that buzz. For a second, I thought I got the faintest hint of a bassy rumble. Like, this all at once seems so dangerous and so cool. I feel like I used to draw things like this, you know, just trying to see what convoluted architecture I could put to paper. This is the kind of thing I would come up with, because in children's drawings, nobody uses stairs, sometimes ladders, but most often, slides. And squiggly slides. The squigglier the better. And the more colorful. Makes them go faster. You have to have a mix of huge areas where you can hang out with like 200, 2,000 friends at a time. But you also have to have these small places for when you get tired or you want a snack. There is, however, a limit on how small I want to get. And it looks like we really are getting that small now, so... Oh my god. It's narrow and flooded and dark. This is several fears coming together at once right now. Oh wait, hey, can I... Wait. I can actually smother the sound of... Oh, there we go. I guess the base station couldn't see my hand. I am very aware of the fact that it is dead silent right now. God, those shadows and the reflections on the water make this place seem so much bigger than it is. I feel like I've gotten someplace I'm not supposed to be. And I feel like I'm about to go someplace I'm even less supposed to be. Good timing. Oh my! I wouldn't even know what to make of this. I feel like you're somehow the intelligence behind it all. But that's about as far as I could speculate. I mean, that screech we heard... hey, there's a QR code here. I wonder if you would be able to scan that from your screen? Well, let's keep going. It doesn't look like we fell down here. No, we were just brought here. That screech. Was that a rejection or a welcome? I mean, that's the thing. You constantly go back and forth between this place having no intention, existing as some sort of glitch in reality, maybe pulled from your dreams, and there being an intelligence, but one that we couldn't possibly comprehend. This sort of puts me more in the second camp. But I think that screech, if anything, it tells us that there is something here. And it knows we're here. I mean, I'll take any chance to get out of the water. Let's duck our head down. That's honestly worse than crouching, is having to duck my head down slightly. Oh, look at this. We've got more elements of plant life coming into here to the point where it's actually becoming sort of a theme. But it's so weird to take something that is so pristine and perfect from the word go and then introduce an element that almost looks like decay until you realize that the structure itself isn't crumbling. This is just sort of growing on it. Maybe it is intentional for a given value of intentional. Okay, I don't think these... They do go somewhere. This is really, really cool. Like, I put this off for a long time thinking, I've done a million Dreampools maps. Will I really have anything different to say? But this is a very unique and original take on it. Like, it actually has, in every single area, that combination of awe and comfort and fear. And I feel like in each space, it finds new ways to do that. Like, each area is truly distinct and different, rather than putting all of its energy into just being big. Like, I look at these corners, and I really do feel like I should be inspecting behind each pillar, because for every giant tunnel, there's a little hideaway, a little crevice in the back that could take you to something, well, I guess just as huge. That's an angled wall, but not a curved one. We've yet to see the entrance to one of these slides. We've only seen the exits. Okay, that goes through there. I mean, look, this little isolated pool in the corner of what is basically a hallway, which I guess is the textbook definition of liminal. It's the idea of having rooms in a literal transitional space. There's something about it that I feel like just breaks our brain. But it is, now that I think about it, that is sort of how kids draw. When they're coming up with a fantasy location, they don't care about practicality. They don't have any concrete idea that buildings work the way they do for a reason. And so you get imaginative stuff like this. I wonder if our dreams actually become more concrete as our idea of the world solidifies. I don't think that's water down there. I think that's just a dark void. Unfortunately, I don't have anything on me to drop and find out. Oof. God, that's bright. Look at this. 2 parallel bridges that don't intersect. I'm here, and yet I can't access things I can see. That railing over there just startled me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to touch your water. Ooh. I'm definitely finding myself drawn to the narrower areas. I've noticed that. Ooh. Maybe that's a mistake. I am getting real flashbacks to Silent Hill 2 right now. And we're back down to here. That whole thing was one loop. Oh, wow. Wait, so if we go through here... Huh? Wait, have we been here? I just never know. Seems familiar? Alright, now... See... Every area is distinct, but there are some features that are just indistinct enough that I'm starting to question myself. There's another thing. In front of a plant beneath a window, there's a white spot. Okay, it seems like there's a whole mystery to be uncovered on this map. But I've yet to find out what these spots actually refer to. I mean, it feels like we've seen a lot, but everywhere we go, there's just new things. New hallways we haven't gone down, areas we need to return to that who knows when we'll see them again. It does actually feel like I'm seeing new things as I'm being guided along, which is actually, in a way, making me feel more lost than if it was just a bunch of interchangeable, barely different spaces. These plants are among the rarer things those can serve as good landmarks. I mean, I actually find I'm feeling more lost when I have to leave things behind. Knowing how much I'm leaving unexplored behind me is actually a big part of the reason why this feels so big. Once again, ducking. It really feels like I'm going to see the legs of something crawling around in here with me. No way. All right, let's try it. Well, that's a sure way to make sure I never want to get off this ladder. Oh, I've made a huge mistake. We are in nightmare mode now. You ever have a dream like this? You're in a cramped maze and you're just kind of feeling your way around in the dark. You can hear something chasing you, but you never quite know what it is or where it is. And sometimes that knowledge is just a feeling, but that's all it needs. I swear at the tail end of every splash I make, there's another splash that doesn't quite sound like it came from me. This is awful because I look that way and I can see in the reflections on the water just how far this extends. I'm trying to hug the left wall, but I also know that they would be mean and place the exit in one of these little closets. Why would you do that now? Hang on, I need a second for my heart to get back into pace. Thank you. Thank you. You know all these maps where I've been in a situation like this, and I've said, hey, if something were to happen right now, I would absolutely jump out of my skin. Well, here it is. We are experiencing that now, live. Oh, thank God. Oh my God, yes. We've got to start checking each of these plants simply because we know that something's under them. This is like the waiting area for a nightmare. These places are going to be real different depending on how you approach them, huh? Look, one tunnel leading to them, 4 entrances. We could start climbing back up. This place is like the office. You spend so much time here with it, and yet every time you look at a new room, you swear it's something you've never seen before. Look, we're merging textures now. Interesting how it uses the blue tiles as a shorthand for darker. I mean, makes sense. It's literally a darker color, but you don't really make that association until you're in that space and you realize, man, my light would probably be bouncing around a little better if we had the white tiles here. All right, well, obviously, we're not going to look at the spiral staircase and not go up the spiral staircase. Turning around in one direction so that I don't twist the headset cable. You got something to say? That's very notable for being a depiction of a human. red one in the middle of a cube or some kind of structure like it. Or maybe an open space with 4 branching hallways, an intersection of some kind. But there's like a 3-dimensional element to it. So right now we've got white, blue, and red. And we've got another QR code. I mean, almost religious-looking statue. And a roof and windows like a cathedral. Maybe this place does take cues from things in the real world. I mean, obviously there's plants here, but you know what I mean. Whatever, I'm tired. See here, it almost looks like a sewer junction or something. I doubt we're going to be able to get up there, but maybe something comes out there? We're going up and down so often I honestly couldn't even speculate. Ooh, but I think I've walked down here before. Not too long ago, in fact, although my sense of scale is totally broken. But here is the iconic image. The one that serves as the thumbnail. There's something about a corner with tiny windows that just feels so cozy. Those memories of 80s, 90s convention centers. Back to here. Okay, I think we have reached the tipping point. This happens with all of these maps, where we start seeing more and more familiar places, and while I don't think I'm going to get an idea for how to navigate, I can, at the very least, start, well, recognizing things and taking different paths. Wait, this goes down there. Yes. A weirdly normal stairwell. Wait, this goes down much farther. Oh my god. We're gonna have to go fully underwater for the first time. Take a breath. Boom. Okay, I definitely was not supposed to be seeing that. If I were less scrupulous, I could use that to cheat and see this place in a noclip run before the noclip run. But the floor in there was totally black. And the door in here is totally short. Oh, but it does, in a roundabout way, finally make its way down here. Yes, we've walked through here. We have. And we've been through... Yes, all this kind of dances around itself. Part of the confusion is that I'll see something and recognize it, but not have any conception of when I saw it. Like this. Have we been down here before? I don't think so. This could be the room with the red circle in the center. Ooh. Look at that. It's like each one is being given its individual port for sunlight rather than just lighting the entire room like the other room is doing. They've also got water, but it doesn't seem to be helping. You know, it's almost like there was an entity. I'm just going to wildly speculate here. It's almost like there was an entity that was the ruler of this domain, and at some point it was exposed to plant life. All the plants we've seen here are dry and dead, and maybe that's because it realized that these things are sustained by light and water, and it was like, those two things are in abundance here. I can do that. But it doesn't understand why its chlorinated water isn't working. Actually, I do wonder what the effect would be on plants with chlorinated water. I imagine they just die. It's so weird to have a hallway that not only doesn't go to this that's right here, but is so dark that the light in this space doesn't even touch it. We meet again from another angle. But connectivity is such a big deal here. Everything connects in so many areas, but not always to each other. We're at a point where this is going to get really difficult. Like, difficult to even find places I haven't been. We've been here, I know that, which means we've got to go the other way. Then again, I've been here as well. Oh, man. Here we have pots, but no plants within them. This comes here. Well, let's go down Willy Wonka's tunnel of nightmares then. Willy Wonka's tunnel of nightmares just got so much worse, didn't it? All right. That buzz is so much weirder here than on other maps. It's just something that is such a staple of these things, but not this type of map. It's weirdly out of place, but you don't notice it until you realize how out of place it is. Ooh. Now, darkness and water, there's another combination that this map is definitely making use of. The wavy hallways almost taunting you, because it's saying, look, you don't know what's around the corner. And it gives you that impression constantly. Never a moment of relief as new space is revealed. Maybe this could be the red cube. If there were some way to get inside of this. I mean, it was three-dimensional. Oops. Cannonball. See, have we been here before? I have no idea. This leads back to here. I think this means we've been through each of those things, so let's go upstairs. Yep, as expected, here is that railed area. Have we seen it from that angle? I honestly don't remember. We've made it all the way back to the beginning. That's strange. Well, let's keep the explore up then. Somehow that's weirdly invigorating. As is that. I'm complimenting your house. Calm down. I remember when every place had, like every place that did business had this sort of dark green marble or granite tile. I mean, it was usually more slabs with a pattern rather than bathroom tile like this, but it had the same color. When you slant it with windows like that, it definitely feels that way. Actually, it's weird. It's like greenish when I don't put the light on it, and turns light blue when it is. God, blue stairs feels wrong after all this. I mean, those warm-colored lights hanging over this, it's like climbing a fire escape in an alleyway. But I think we've been here. Yep. The archways serve as a pretty good anchor. Like, the long rooms are great because they cut through a bunch of these things. Something that I really like that we've seen in, like, Kane Pixel's Backroom series is the concept of actually scientifically taking this. And for as terrifying as it is with just individuals ending up here, I like the idea of seeing this stuff under the microscope sometimes, having tape on the floor pointing you in the right direction, and, you know, sometimes that even allows you new opportunities to make it scary in different ways. Look at that. This pool has lights that project along the water, but the dust hanging in the air is like stars in the sky. It's like a night swim. Oddly enough, this room is a lot less creepy and a lot more comfy. If only it didn't have such narrow side areas, no pool chairs to lounge in. Yes. There's another QR. I don't know if the way I'm holding my light is going to stop you from being able to scan that. There we go. Actually, wait, is there a different shape in that corner? There is, but not the one I thought. You need this railing. Imagine trying to walk down here, but you just came out of that pool, and so you're just like slipping along the railing, your feet are slipping on the tile. And for some reason, even though I've never broken a bone, I still feel like broken bones are worse when you're wet. We have been here. We have. Okay, back the way we came then. We are doing this. Wait, wasn't there? Wait, now I have no sense of direction for this place. Alright, no, we're going the right way. I can't remember if we've seen this one. I think we have. I think we have. I don't think we've seen this, so maybe not. Those pools kept isolated. Makes you wonder what the purpose is for the separation. These actually seem to be thriving. Well, there's no chlorinated water here, but at least they're getting enough sunlight. And that's the thing is, you might say, who's to say a place like this would have chlorinated water? Well, the smell is a very big part of the experience, I would imagine. Ah. We're back to here, to the part that we never had a chance to get through. That's good. That's good. That means we haven't been through this passage. That's the thing is, when I find someplace that's familiar, I definitely can't extrapolate where I am in the greater structure. I mean, the noclip run of this is going to be legendary. It's just that I can look at an exit and say, I don't think I've been through here before. There's a curved wall. We can't interact with the plant itself. But yeah, no, there's like a slightly curved arched wall over a plant. Sort of fits what we saw for the blue illustration. Or I think it was the blue one. I also have noticed that there's an audible ping, meaning that there is a trigger when we approach those QR codes. The map knows that we're progressing, and I guess my big concern is what it plans to do with that information. For example, what are you, the fourth one, the fifth? I mean, before I put this video out, I'm going to have to try scanning these myself, which I don't normally do. Look at you. Wait, hang on. Something showing us the location of a yellow one, but this is the first actual artifact we've recovered, and there's a really ominous yet soothing sound emanating from it. Well, we can pick it up. You must be the blue one. I was kind of hoping it would just disappear, to be honest. We're getting that flashlight bug now. We should find a place to start storing these. Yeah. You know I'm coming for you. I did not expect to get this involved tonight, but looks like we're on an adventure. And I've got a super-powered flashlight now. I can still hear that sound as I carry you with me. Oh, look at that. Look at that. A green one has spawned here. Which means that somewhere we can find a yellow one and a red one. Okay, this will be the spot where we leave them. I think maybe we've hit every QR code, and now that means we can start the hunt. These weren't here before, they were spawned in. Now we're back in the beginning, which means I can pretty easily retrace my steps to where we found the first one. But I believe we haven't been down this area yet, so let's just check it out before we move on. Come on, footsteps. We really got to make sure we check every corner in a place like this. There we go. I have a feeling you're going to be one of the places we need something. Ah, and there's you. Wait, a pink one. So there's actually far more. There's far more. A yellow one, a white one. But we've got you. Wait, have we been up that way? Hang on. If we're already holding you and then we take out the flashlight, it shouldn't be an issue. Been here. This is convoluted, but yeah, I know we passed by this bridge before. Look at that little shelf. Somehow it makes it so much creepier knowing that there are areas that are just outright inaccessible. Down to here. Again. Right here, we see the blue and a yellow has spawned. Can we carry both at once? I don't remember if Gary's mod allows that. It does. Oh yeah, gotta catch them all. But we're still missing at least 2, I think. This also means we can't have a flashlight for the time being. It's a very different experience entering from this angle. But here we are. Hello. Huh. I hadn't realized that these grates are actually vertical. Oh, stop. Weird detail. We never did go through here. And indeed, there's nothing here. The fact that there's all these little spaces just kind of twisting their way around behind the walls. But that means that I've never been through here, right? Huh. It's got that little overlook. At first I looked over here thinking maybe I would see the tree, but no. Well, that is strange. That means there's, if we haven't seen it already, there's a way to get there, right? Also, I don't know why I'm so disconcerted by the fact that this doesn't go all the way to the ceiling. Maybe I imagine some creature crawling over to the edge and peering down at me when I'm not looking. Huh. It really does look fake when you actually have a full view. And yet the fact that it's presented for you makes it seem like there is no actual intention to hide that. I hadn't seen this before. A grave, a memorial. But does that imply you're buried beneath water and tile? We're back here. So I had a look on the workshop for some idea of where to start. And oddly enough, I didn't see anyone mentioning the crystals themselves, but I did see the creator mention that it might be worth it to try the well again after we found all the QR codes. So let's try it. Oh, they also mentioned that those QR codes lead to optional soundtrack for parts of the map. Back down again. Yep. Oh, hey! Hey, a creator room! Oh, so that's why I was feeling watched. Hang on, staring contest. I'm gonna stop now because I could feel my soul degrading. That's your secret, isn't it? And you? You're just a beeper. Ah, you're both beepers. A sandbox map for Gary's mod, inspired by Jared Pike and the Dreamcore and Pools demos. Created by Cyan. And there's another QR code right there. Once again, trying to get the best look possible so that you can scan it if you want. Oh my god, those lines. This must have been absurdly complex to make. Here's the credits. And we can crawl our way out of here. Oh, there's each of them in their own individual QR codes. I have no idea how easy those will be to scan. Yep. Oh, look at this! It's not just a creator room, it's a creator museum. I wonder what this is about. Oh, look at that! A series of teleports that can lead us to different spaces. Yep, there we go. I knew I'd find it on the outskirts somewhere. Look, we can see each room. Oh my god, yes! Oh my god, yes, thank you. Oh, thank you. That is so cool. This map is so cool. Like I said, I didn't cover this for such a long time simply because I was like, these are a dime a dozen, but it really wasn't. And it's more proof that I should really listen when tons and tons of people are suggesting a liminal space map. Because every time that's been the case, I found out that, no, there is something more to it. There's something you don't understand. Oh, rest in peace, King. Let's have another look at a QR code. There we are. I wonder what this button leads to. Oh my god. Darwin, did you set this up just to scare me? Good to see you, buddy. You're dead tired just like me. Don't worry, I'll be joining you on that couch over there soon enough. What time is it? Hang on, let me check what time it is. It is 4:30 in the morning. Perfect for this exploration. Why? Darwin, how have you made my model so much shorter than me? Look at me with my hands on my hips, my brow furrowed. Like, I do not approve of this. Not one bit. Nope. Do these do anything? No way. No way. Darwin, are you telling me that you were the mastermind controlling this entire thing? That is nuts. You're working with the creator. Why are the people I love always doing this? Darwin collaborating with Cyan to mess with me on here. There was Elster when she collaborated with Nicole and recorded lines to screw with me in Libello or Luminex, whichever it was. That's the real lack of safety I'm coming away with. Let's see what this does. Ow! Ooh. 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 Oh, my stomach. And now it's playing all throughout the map. This was really, really cool because it still had that dreamlike sense of eeriness and mystery to it, while still being, like, paradoxically inviting in some areas and comfy in others, and feeling like a childhood fantasy come true at times. And it manages to feel unique and original in the implementation of those things, even while playing the concept of the pool rooms completely straight. Not to mention, it just visually looks really, really nice, and it becomes even better when you have a look at the workshop page and you read about all the challenges that were overcome in making this work on a technical level. I mean, you look at all this stuff and you think, yeah, there's a lot of artistry here, but you're also contending with Hammer while doing all of this. I almost didn't see you. You go on a ledge, I guess beneath something. You're the white one. Yep. We're still missing a red one. What do you do? I'm baffled. There is nothing on the workshop page about you guys. Here's a space beneath a window. But it doesn't seem to have done anything. Unless each of these just points to where a thing can be found, but doesn't necessarily correspond to the crystal. Again, I have no idea what it wants me to do with this. Yeah, we have seen this overlook. So yeah, I've been wandering around for a long time now. I spent a lot of time checking out the workshop, and I seriously cannot find a single word about these crystals. It is bizarre. A million talking about how to activate that secret room we were in, but nothing about this. And that's insane to me. Like, is this a hallucination? But I guess that means that now would be a pretty good time to start our noclip run, right? So let's go. Look at that. The tree room takes up like a third of the space of the map. There's the room down there. There's all... Hello? Kitty? Actually, if I remember correctly, this is included with Hammer. Like, that's just always been there. It's on top of this thing. Oh my god, I knew I was being watched from up here. That's hilarious. Despite being so vertical, this is actually surprisingly tightly packed. I mean, there's really not very much space left open in between all of this. And it's not even that it weaves around each other. It seems very well planned. Wait, what is that over there? What is all this? There's only a narrow space I can stand in. That's really strange. I can only think that maybe this has something to do with the crystals, but otherwise I don't even know why it's here. Meanwhile, we've got our whole pile over here. We found 5 of these, but no red one. It's not just sound, but soundtrack coming out of this thing. I wonder if these don't function more as unlockables for music tracks in the end room. Here's the white one. Like, it doesn't seem to go in the place depicted. It doesn't seem to go here, and it also didn't spawn here, so that's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe it's just soundtrack that we can unlock a song in an object. The fact that nobody's talking about this makes it even more bizarre, but in any case, that was Cyan Dreampools. And it was a tremendous amount of fun, and including right now, I have never once stopped thinking I saw things move around corners as I turned around. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this map out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.